Hi there! VideoGaming Father here with this video review action platformer with RPG elements and retro feeling called Childish 4. Will it be good old run and gun fun? What kind of attributes can you upgrade there? Is there more of platforming or rather more of shooting? Can you find an intriguing story in the game explaining what you are doing and why? Is it worth the money it costs? Just keep watching and you will get the answers for all these questions soon. So who is actually Kaylee mentioned in the name of the game? Kaylee is a small blonde girl saving the world. Okay, sounds funny but not really attractive for adult players, does it? But wait a minute, as there is definitely a more complex game under the childish look. So what is the story if there is any? Kaylee and her team must embark on a journey across the globe to find a cure for her friend Droplet's carrots. Along the way she must find her way through the hordes of enemies to become the greatest hero in the world. Okay, the story does not really indicate that it is not just the childish game, does it? Fine, let's better look at the other features of Childish 4. After clicking Start New Game, you are thrown right into the game without long tutorials. You only meet Lloyd, who is some kind of mentor to you, explaining you the background of the story, your new abilities and so on. After the short conversation, you are thrown into the fights with first enemies, thugs. They are aggressive punks who start punching wildly everyone who gets too close. How can blonde little girl fight them? Well, she's got a gun. I've told ya, it's not as childish as it looks. So she just starts shooting, the numbers indicating decreasing health of your enemy appear after each hit, and soon the first thug is sent to the eternity, leaving the first loot that Kaylee can collect. From each enemy drop coins, experience and sometimes even hearts. Let's explain their meaning a little bit later. As you proceed through the level, you find out that the basic mechanic of the game is very simple. You are just jumping between the platforms, killing the enemies and collecting the loot from them and also from the crates scattered throughout each level. The levels are quite short, so soon you will proceed to the next level where you will be virtually doing the same to get further. So far it sounds like a typical action platformer from 16-bit era, doesn't it? Is there anything that adds more complexity to the game? You can bet that there is. The magic word that makes the game much deeper are the RPG elements. You are improving statistics and obtaining new skills for both Kaylee and her weapons. As for Kaylee, she's leveling up from time to time, which in the game means that she gets more health bars and causes more damage when pairing attacks. As I mentioned weapons leveling and also pairing, let's take a closer look at Kaylee's arsenal. Your basic weapon is a pistol. Not so powerful but fires fast and can be improved quite fast as well. The more you use the weapon, the faster it improves. There is a bar above the weapon and once it is full, the weapon levels up and causes more damage, as you can see by the increased numbers flying out of your enemies after each hit. After each few levels, the weapon gets new skill as well, for example shoots faster or shoots 2 bullets each time instead of 1. What else is there for Kaylee to eliminate her enemies? There is a boomerang that always comes back to you and is good for situations when you need to take cover, shotgun that is unsurprisingly powerful, mostly for the short distance, and leveling up will increase its range. These are the weapons I have discovered so far, but there should be much more like flamethrower, RPG or sniper rifle, and each of them can be leveled all the way up to unlock its final super powerful form. So the weapon variety along with their leveling is a big plus for the game. Except of classic weapons, you have the special key for your sword that you use not only for smashing the crates with the loot, but also for parrying the projectiles for some of your enemies that turns their own weapons against them. The higher level is Kaylee on, the more damage it causes. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Who are you going to use this arsenal against? I've already mentioned basic Thug, who is strong but cannot do much, so you can easily eliminate him from the distance. The next one you meet is Enforcer, who is throwing his club with you with deadly accuracy. Luckily you have the sword that can parry his attacks and turn them against him, and also the intervals between his attacks are quite long, so you can combine your own attack with parrying to eliminate him quickly. Then there is a football player who kicks the bomb in the form of the ball against you and is pretty fast using his bicycle kicks. The warrior disposes of both melee and ranged attack, and his throwing spear prepares you hard moments sometimes, but you can also parry them if you do it at the right moment. The last one I've met so far is a chef, who throws clevers at you and has the ability of self-healing by eating hot dogs. If it were working like this in reality, right? There is supposed to be more than 20 enemy types in the game, so the variability and also the originality of the enemies is another plus for Kaylee's Caves 4. What about the game concept? The game is divided into worlds. There is supposed to be 9 of them, and each of them should consist of 10 plus levels except the first smaller one. The game is some kind of light Metroidvania, which means that you can return to the already completed levels, but the game does not force you to do so. So the only reason why to do it is to find hidden areas that you did not need to visit to finish the level, and usually contains the crates with the loot or sometimes even new weapon. Just beware, the enemies are respawned, so you will need to fight your way again. There are the checkpoints in every third or fourth level, so if Kaylee dies, she is resurrected at the nearest checkpoint. This is usually not so far, as the levels are short. At the end of each world, there is a boss fight, with a creature that is at least 10 times bigger than Kaylee, with a huge amount of hit points, and your task is to find its weak spot and eliminate it to make it to the next world. There is also a hub world called Avalon between the worlds where you can buy a lot of stuff for the collected coins. For example, you can add additional slots to your inventory when you usually have food that can heal you a little bit, or to upgrade your parry to cause more damage. You can also buy items that boost number of hearts dropped by enemies, boost XP gain, or make prices in Avalon cheaper. Along with leveling of Kaylee and her weapons, it makes relatively simple game much more deeper and also more entertaining. Good job, devs! What about controls and difficulty? Controls are quite intuitive and responsive. I was playing on Xbox controller and Kaylee's reactions were immediate and accurate enough. I believe that it will be similar when playing on the keyboard. As for the game difficulty, once you level up your weapons and Kaylee a little bit, the game is rather easy. You cannot die here by falling down or only by the enemy's hands. Good system of checkpoints along with short levels ensure that you will never respawn too far from the place where you had no luck before. The bosses, on the other hand, are rather tough, and I must admit that I still have not beat the second one yet. But I guess this is just because I have not found the right tactics. So in general, difficulty is reasonable. The game is not too easy, yet not frustrating. Graphics is simple but stylish, which means nice and colorful in style of 16-bit games from 90s, only smoother with higher resolution. Sounds and music are not something extraordinary, but help to create right retro atmosphere, like from the 90s, so good job has been done again. Only thing I was not so satisfied with is level design. Many generic platforms with only few non-interactive objects and some water. And that's all, folks. Let's finalize this review then. Kaylee's Caves 4 has many pros: wide variety of weapons, original enemies, RPG elements, frequent leveling up, stylish graphics and music, responsive controls, balanced difficulty. It is indeed not perfect, so there are also some cons like absence of real story, generic level design, and no-code multiplayer that would bring even more fun to the game. The game costs €10 on Steam, which is not so much for what it offers, but it is often discounted, so I would recommend to wait for at least 50% discount. In such case, you should not hesitate at buy, as thanks to short levels and reasonable difficulty, it is suitable for gaming fathers and their families. I really enjoyed my time with this action platformer, so I'm giving it thumbs up, and VideoGaming Father's index 8 out of 10, recommended. Thank you for staying till the end, If you have liked this review, please do not forget to give it a thumb up and also to subscribe to my Video Gaming Father's channel. Hope to see you soon again!